Hello ladies and gentlemen, MarauderEX here back with more Let's Play Shining Force 3, and I'm here in the headquarters, and I went ahead and got the items that I wanted to for finding, so I'll show those off. I mean, you already know what they are. Shiny Rapier and Master Ring. There's a strategy that I kind of want to try out involving this, because finding comes with level 3 in Rapiers, so he has Dance Macabre, which is kind of useful for this theory, and then adding 10 extra critical to, influence a power attack, that'll help. So, I'm gonna try it. If I can get it to work, great. If not, it'll probably be an extra video regardless, so just something I kinda wanna see. But I also have one thing that I need to do, and by that I mean it's a lot of things that I need to do. I'm going to finally use all of these items, and I've put them on the people that are probably going to use them, or at least close to the people who are going to use them. So like Mascarin is going to get both Bright Honeys, and that's increased by 2. Increased by 4. That's great. That was a fantastic increase. Grace uses the Quick Chicken by 4. That's even better. Alright, the Power Wine is going to be used on Hayward. I went through and I looked at everyone's stats on these things for a lot of these, so like Grace could use, slightly higher agility, because, it's hers, even after that it was 21. So I mean, that's pretty low agility. So, I went through and I tried to find the best applicable character for this to balance things out. I could have just given everything to Symbios and make him a beast, but that's not quite needed. So like the Power Wine is going to be used on Hayward because his attack is 76. So that's the same as Irene, and actually higher than Eldar. Eldar has the lowest attack, but Eldar's not really meant to be a major attacker, but Hayward's just not been putting out the damage that I've been expecting of him as of late. Like, compared to Symbios and Dantares, their attack is 67, but they also have their weakest weapon currently equipped. So, that's my mindset for it. Only increases it by 2, and that's the thing, I budgeted, or basically, based everything on if the increase was by 2. So, and then like the Defense Milk, I'm going to be using that on Symbios, because his defense is 44, which is only 1 higher than Grace, same as Hayward, 1 less than Dantares. So it's like, his defense is not where it really needs to be. So, but I did base everything on his, if it gave 2 increase. The Brave Apple I'm actually going to give to Grace. Irene, I put it on Irene because she has the lowest XP, but Irene doesn't need to be 16 over, say, Grace, because Grace could use the MP and whatever other stats that she'll probably get a little more than Irene will. Or at least I'll be using Grace a little more than Irene. So, Brave Apple, which takes her to 16, max HP by 1, max MP by 1, defense by 2, agility by 1. So she got a total of 5 agility off of everything that I gave her. So I'm actually okay with that. And then just continuing on with overpowering Grace, I'm going to give her the running pimento to increase her movement by 2. Because her movement is 5, which is alright, but I don't really need to even use it on her. I probably should use it on someone who's going to be in the secondary force, like Finding, perhaps, to have better movement. Actually, Finding might be the best choice. I'm not going to need it as much on Grace, because the fight Grace is going to be in, movement's not really an issue. We're in a very confined space. Finding's fight, however, is. So we're gonna increase Finding. That was a decision made on the fly. Eldar is actually going to get the health bread because HP's 47, kinda low. Kinda disappointed in that. So 50 HP now for Eldar. That puts her where I'd like her to be. Noon is going to get the Lucky Cookie because that will protect Noon from insta-death spells. Because I've been told that you're protected from Soul Steal at a luck of 8, so it will not instantly kill you. Not that anyone else is going to be throwing Soul Steal at us from here on out. I don't think there's any enemy that has Soul Steal. But I also really don't have that much use for luck at the moment. Because there are a couple of status effects, but not many. So I'm not terribly bothered by that. So now the goal is to take some of these items, because we're not going to be coming back to the headquarters. So I'm going to basically start putting a ton of things on people. That's it. Actually, no, I'm gonna give that to Grace, because I might as well just kind of go all out. Irene will get one as well. Basically, everyone who's going to have a little bit of MP is going to get one of these things, so... Noon, you'll get one. I don't think I have any... We'll put one on Hagane, because he's actually also going to be in the secondary fight. And then we've got more potions that I need to deal with, so actually I need to clear off some space on a couple of people. Like, you don't need all three of those, because you're going to get something else. I think you're fine with what you've got there. Because I'm going to give a potion to everyone that I can. So... that should do it. Alright, let's take the potion. I also need to put the healing reins on someone. Let's see. I might take the Phoenix Sword off of Symbios. Let's see. Hayward, you get a potion. Got 9 potions left. Obright, you get a potion. Because potions will completely restore HP, so I kind of want to make sure everyone has one. Because we're going to need basically all of the magical assistance we can get. But then I also need to figure out what I'm going to do about those healing reins. Not that I need the healing reins. I really don't think I'm going to need the healing reins. But I've got 2. That means I could put 1 on each force, should I need it. Let's see. Frank... yeah, I'm gonna take the Phoenix Sword off of Symbios and give him a healing rein. Because I don't see this mostly because there's not gonna be too many single targets on the bridge. That's gonna be an issue. Alright, let's give one of those to Hayward. Because I'm gonna just go all out with magic. I assume that I'm going to need as much magic support as possible, and kind of want to put one on Murasame, so I'll do that. That way I have all of my goddess tiers on my main force, but I've got 1 on my second. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Don't need to deposit anything. I do need to take. Oh, I just took something from Ratchet, didn't I? I didn't take anything from... oh, doesn't matter. I'll put her on Finding and I'll switch to someone else. And Finding, you're gonna get a potion as well. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm just going to switch some things around with this side. Let's see. She doesn't really need a healing drop. So let's give the healing drop. We'll give that back to Ratchet. So that way she can get the other healing rain. And then it was Hagane or Murasame that I wanted to switch that goddess tier out for. Alright. And let's get that last healing rain, and then we're going to continue onward. I've got a ton of stuff in storage that kind of disappoints me. Mostly because I just don't have the room. Normally what I do with Pin is I do try to load Pin up completely with healing items, but the problem is healing items have to be used within, you know, you have to be right next to the unit to use it on them, except for healing rains. And without leveling up Pin, it's like I can do that once, because afterwards Pin becomes the next target. Like, they'll just turn around and attack Pin. That has always been my strategy, and always been that failing in that strategy. It's like, oh, well, Frank just took a major hit. Let me walk over with Pin, heal him, and he dies the next turn, because someone just walks over, oh, hey, there's this squishy little target with 4 HP. Let me destroy it. So, let's use the statue gem to just kind of sneak in. Those two guards have just been completely inept, not watching us sneak into these underground tunnels. Like, I know they can see us. Like, you gotta be blind to not see us. Like, I can see them, they should be able to see us. That's how line of sight works, right? Unless Symbios is the Predator and is invisible the entire time. Alright, so we come over here and we're gonna get a little cutscene. Because finding, from here I'll lead the 2nd Battalion to the dam, release the water. The water from the dam is the key to defeating the Titan. I'm sure the Imperial Army has guards posted. Be extremely cautious as you proceed with your mission. Once we release the water, we'll send up a signal, telling you guys to get off the bridge. The success of this mission depends on our teamwork. To be safe, let me give you this. Palsos received a calling whistle. If you need to retreat for any reason, use that and I'll meet up with you here. So, we have 2 battles left, but one of those is 2 battles in one. So we have like 2.5 battles? 3 battles? So we'll have Battle on the Bridge Part 1, and then Battle at the Dam, and those are going to happen at the same time. Once we finish with one group, it'll switch over to the other area, and back and forth and back and forth. And then once we're finished with those 2 fights, we'll have Battle on the Bridge Part 2, which will be the last fight of the game. So, that's why I kind of wanted to make sure I was pretty well stocked in terms of, you know, my force, because I wanted to make sure I'm not coming back. Mostly because I think if I have to retreat, I have to do the battle. Actually, I think once we do if we complete the dam section, we don't have to do that fight again, it would just be the final fight. I think that's accurate, but just in case, I don't want to be like, oh, well, I'm out of, you know, healing items on this character, which is going to make things rather difficult. Let's, you know, go back. Alright, so they see us shaking that ass. I mean, sneaking onto the bridge. Even if you're planning on attacking, even if the Titan is out of control, you can't win. And there's Erwant. He finally shows up. You rescued Benetrim and have managed to overcome every obstacle we've thrown at you. You even defeated Masanda. Since we lost control of the Titan, we haven't been able to cross the bridge, but it seems you have found a secret passage. So that basically means he's stuck in the castle, right? Like, he can't cross the bridge, he'd get attacked. Even without Basanda, I will crush the Republic and take my true place as Emperor. And I'll even keep my promise to Tristus if he keeps his. So there's Algernon. Uncle Symbios, don't worry about me. The giant in the moat, it's too dangerous, please go back. Yeah, no. No, I've been doing risky things since day one. This is par for the course. Even without the Titan, we far outnumber you. You won't survive, much less rescue your precious nephew. Soldiers, intercept the Symbios army. We must hold them until the Bullsome reinforcements arrive. Just as I thought, Prince Erwant will sacrifice his army to prevent us from rescuing Algernon. Are we at all surprised? Engage the Imperials until finding signal and keep the casualties to a minimum. The Republic's fate is in your hands. Alright, so, we've got the 2 fights, starting now. Oh no, wait, we do have the scene at the dam. Forgot about that. So the Republican scum have arrived. I don't know what they want with this dam, but we are here to repel them. Prince Erwant deployed us here as a tip from Basanda. The Republicans were not expecting us, so we have the upper hand. Prince Erwant was skeptical, so we only sent 1 battalion, but we were more than enough to defeat this pathetic lot. Now they die. The dam is defended as expected, but we should be able to handle them. Defeat the defenders of the dam. We must release the water to help Symbios and the others defeat the Titan. It takes so much for me not just to default call it the Colossus, because that was the original English translation, but it was also really kind of messed up because the Colossus and the Titan, and then you had Thanos, which is another reoccurring Shining Force enemy that's a giant robot type thing. So there's a lot of back and forth on that messes with me. Alright, so here's our fight on the bridge, part 1. So we have this little walkway that we're going to be on, and that's what we start off on, which kind of sucks, because it's single file, which means we have to kind of pour into the bridge in between 2 battalions. So this battalion, mostly Silver Knights, a couple of Bow Knights, and a Giga Breaker. This is a Giga Breaker, a couple of Silver Knights, a couple of Bow Knights, and a Sorcerer. Nothing new. These are all the same enemies we've been fighting. There's a single solitary Griffin flying off in the distance here. But this is why when I was thinking about it just a moment ago, I wasn't too concerned about giving Grace the running pimento, because these last 2 fights, this is where she's going to be. She's going to be on this bridge. Meaning, movement's not going to be an issue. We are in a very tight, confined space. Having 2 extra movement is not as helpful as it would be elsewhere, specifically for finding. So once we get over into the finding section of the fight, I'll show you what I mean on that, and what the plan is that, like I said, I don't think I'm going to go for, but I'm going to have a save file so I can try it to see how it works, because it is one of those that relies 100% on luck. And in turn, it's also one of those things that you would try to aim for a speed run, because if you could do it, you're done with the fight in just a couple of minutes. Alright, so we switch over, and we didn't get to see them in the cutscene because they're not technically a part of the Force, they're just a mercenary. We get Karna, our Master Monk. HP of 45, MP of 43, movement of 5, attack of 66, defense of 38, agility of 20, luck of 6, heal 3, tornado 3, aura 2, mystery Ankh, has a potion, an elixir, and a fairy powder, so actually really, really beneficial. But so, the other enemies we've got over here, pretty much the same things. We've got Giga Breaker as the boss. We need to defeat the Giga Breaker. We've got a couple of sorcerers, a Griffin, a Bow Knight, which the Bow Knight is the threat to this. Everything else, well, everything else over there is a threat as well. But and then we have a single Griffin in the middle. The strategy is have Finding work his way over here as quickly as possible, working around to circumvent as much of the enemy force as possible, so that he can attack the Giga Breaker on his own. And if he has a high enough luck and he uses Dance Macabre, he can one-shot. Because Dance Macabre can instantly destroy. It's an insta-kill ability. So that's the strategy. And looking at it, it's a little bit harder when I say that out loud, because we're going to need to... The Griffin's going to need to come over. Griffin's going to attack. Finding's going to take no damage. Not where I was expecting that one to go, but okay. I'm fine with that. No damage. And so you kind of want as many of the troops to kind of, you know, go off on their own as possible. So, alright, let's see what damage Frank can do. Wolf Fang. 30 damage. That's not great, but not bad. I think this force is going to be okay. I probably should have leveled up to 16, but I think we're going to be okay. It's just going to be a very cautious fight, which is fine. I do not have a a ranged weapon on Horst. I should probably fix that. Let's see, Ratchet's got his weapon equipped. What are you gonna do? Planet Dance. I kinda like Planet Dance, and oh my god, Planet Dance destroyed that thing. Oh, that was good. Carrying too much already. What we drop for the healing drop? Nothing. We're good. And then Pin is the last person here because he's level 1, and he has 9 HP, excuse me. But this is where I'm going to go ahead and end this episode, because it'll just revert back to the other force, and I'm out of time. So I'll see you guys in the next installment, where we will continue the 2 concurrent battles at the dam and on the bridge. So till then, later everyone.